smiling Alex McLeish just walking into the auditorium. Alex, thanks for joining us. Congratulations. Could you sum up perhaps the array of emotions you've gone through the last couple of hours?
The last couple of months. Tonight, actually, I was quite calm. I felt really strong about the team going into this game, and the way that they played to a high intensity against Albania. We'll obviously get a wee bit of help with the sending off, and we played that extremely professionally, and to keep that high intensity tonight was a wee bit of a task because of the players playing not that long ago in the same team going in again. So you see some of them flagging, and in Israel we're a couple of days rest more than us. So that was a factor in terms of the tiredness. But I've got to say that I'm so proud of the guys, and we answered a lot of questions.
Do you think is that what you put the slow start down to, that not being able to build up that intensity just as quickly?
No, we get pulled about a wee bit. We just had to adjust the shape of the team. The wing backs were getting a wee bit of freedom. We wanted Andy and Callum out to them quicker than they were able to do. I think it wasn't a case of them not doing it. It was more because we were so stretched. And we adjusted the midfield a wee bit to make it a wee bit easier for them. And unfortunately, that was after the goal. Great strike from Kyle, but we never got quite into the quick rhythm as we did in Albania. But for the next 60-odd minutes, 70 minutes, we were fantastic.
There's a lot to like in that latter period, wasn't there, I suppose, up until they got the second goal? Yeah.
We were quite comfortable again. A long-range strike, two goals scored against us outside the box. It's quite unusual in the modern day football. You don't see a lot of long rangers, but they hit us with those sucker punches tonight.
It wasn't a perfect performance, I'm sure you accept, but do you believe this can be the first step on
Feels
the
perfect.
road?
Feels perfect to me, because the goal was to win, and we've done that. So we know that we will look at the video and we will look to improve things. But again, the lads played to a very high level of quality as well as intensity.
A word perhaps about James Forrest and also Alan McGregor with that fantastic match-winning save at the end.
Yeah. We had a great team effort. Subs, guys on the bench, brilliant spirit within the dressing room. Every one of those guys burst into play for their country. And James's goals over the weekend and tonight, amazing. Great to see him scoring in his 25th cap, and then to get a hat-trick tonight. We put him behind Matt Phillips in Hungary, and he actually had 3 or 4 chances in that game, and we felt that he definitely had the capabilities of going in and scoring. And of course he's 4 against St Johnstone recently. Then we encourage him to do that more. After watching pictures in the Portugal game, he could get inside, but he does it with his club as well, and he's in phenomenal form. And then Griggsy, the save, it was what you would call a fantastic world-class save at that moment in a particular game, and he's done that the whole season.
Alex, have you been to speak to James since the game's finished? You must have been very interested to know what exactly you say to a player that's just reduced over the last couple of games.
Yeah, I spoke to him after they got his tour. I complimented him on the programme tonight on his goals and the way he finished them. Tonight the finishing was unerring. Incredible. I'm waiting. going past the post and seeing them nestling inside the posts with all 3 hits was just brilliant finishing. Any striker would be proud of that themselves.
Alex, how much personal satisfaction do you take from the last 2 results? Because there was a lot of criticism directed the way of yourself and the players following the defeat in Haifa.
Yeah. Well, I've got to put it in perspective, you know. I took a hit after that Israel game. I was down on that one. But the thing about football and being in the game for so many years, I'm always very conscientious, and I want to look at it and see how I can do it better. Criticism is fine because it makes you want to do better. And I know that sometimes it can be over the top, but you know, since we lost the game in Paris many years ago as a player, and I'm thinking, I thought I played quite well, and the next day, you know, there's a negative, and you think, well, so you've just got to get used to that. And we bounced back again, resilience, and we worked really hard for the 2 games, and we did a lot of preparation. And the players, as I said, every one of them bursting to get on that pitch tonight.
You said in Skoda the other night, you're only just getting started in this,
I've only played
this second time in charge. How much more do you think there is to come from this Scotland team?
Well, there's more, yeah. There's more. Well, now they have evidence of what they've done over the last 2 games. We showed Israel how we can really play. So, you know, that was, I don't know if that took Israel by surprise or comeback after the slow start. So, again, tremendous credit, and again, it shows that the players were really up for it and determined, passionate about the whole thing, with cool heads. You know, they managed the game well in terms of not getting involved in any fracas with the referee or the opponents.
I like the playoffs for this are a while away. Looks as if it could be Finland first. But does it feel close? Does it feel as though we're close to qualify, even though it is a while away?
Yeah, you know, it's gave us a massive feeling of power and self-satisfaction. You know, we were written off, and we come through it. We come through it against adversity, and that is amazing part of your character when you can do that.
You personally, Alec, were coming in for a bit of stick. Do you feel that the Albanian performance and result, this again tonight, the corner has now been turned, or do you never get the chance to rest in your laurels?
You don't get a chance to rest. We just got to keep improving from here. It's great to get the light at the end of the tunnel from the two games, but you know what was the catalyst for that was a brilliant performance in Albania, and everything went for us. We were very confident and positive about the outcome with the training we did previously in the week, and the players played to a performance level, you know, of what we'd expect of them, and you know, so they should be, you know, looking to be stronger mentally with that kind of performances.
It must be great though, you know, you've got the message out to a player like Andy Robertson, the way that he played and carried it through, because he certainly was a player that had it all and had that belief which went right through the whole team.
Yeah, the character was there for them. You know, Fletch comes in and he led the line really well, didn't he? You know, you look at the experience of the guy and you know that he's got that something wee bit special that the young guys have got to aspire to, and Fletcher was a fantastic addition for us late in the day. So pleased with his contribution and his leadership.
Alec, you mentioned a couple of times there about the players bursting to play for the country. Mm-hmm. Are the guys who featured tonight and in Albania now, in your mind, in pole position effectively to be in your starting lineup ahead of who've maybe pulled out over the last couple of weeks?
Well, I'm not going to ignore. We're too small a country to think that we want to ignore other people. There was no honestly, you're doing disrespect to the players that are out, the disrespect to the medical team who assessed them, if you think that they didn't want to play for Scotland. So that is just not true. But these guys tonight obviously give themselves a real shot in the arm with the performance over the two games, and it makes it tough, and when Naismith done well in the Albania game, everybody said that I said Lee Griffiths was, or Naismith was number one. I never said anything of the kind. So it's a shame that kind of stuff gets reported, but I don't want to spoil a good night, but it's there for these players who have done so well in the two games to keep that going, and we'll look at others who are on top form. We'll probably lose some players from time to time, and there'll be others in form. But what we've seen with that team was more of a familiarity. Players that play together at club level, and a good understanding with the other players in the team. So that was a factor as well.
Before the game, you urged the Scotland fans to come out and get behind the team. Have you got a message for them tonight?
So pleased for them, and it was great to join in the celebrations at the end and applaud the fans, because they gave us some great support, and even when it was the hairy moments at the end, then they were still behind us and still backing the team, and it makes so much of a difference, in terms of the players' energy. The defenders were, some of them walking in empty, and thinking is one of them going to collapse there, but they stuck to it, and the fans give you that, as I said, that energy.
Okay, folks, any more questions? Thanks.